Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. I appreciate you stepping in today. Today is Valentine's Day. One of the days that I just go all out for, right? And not because it's a traditional thing, it's just I love sharing love all year long. But this is a legal day that I can go all out and nobody seems to care, right? So, anyway, today, I want to share something about a little story, okay? About, we talk about Valentine's, we talk about love, correct? I want to share my love story. So I'm going to tell a story today in hopes, oh, honey, don't worry about this raspy voice. It'll come and it'll go, but I assure you I am wonderful. It's just a voice. I used to go to school and they go, I said, I know. Got a little bass going on, but I'm okay. The voice can fool you because I'm working on that throat chakra. And I know why. I know why. Your throat chakras has been attacked because the things you should be saying and you're not saying it right. That's another story for another day. But I know now why I'm having problems with that. So moving along, my love story, right? Oh, good gracious. I think it was, I know it was 40, 43 years ago. Yeah, 43 years ago. This is awesome. Okay, 43 years ago, I was blessed. Uh, I got to tell you how we met, right? And then I can run that past. But I'm only doing this because it's the love day, so I'm doing my love story. And this love story that I'm giving today is one I can hold forever. You ever watch Notebook? Notebook is about a story of a couple that met and they was together forever, right? Even when she got dementia and she couldn't remember her husband loved her so that when they put her in a nursing home, he volunteered to go into a nursing home too, so he could be with his wife every single day. Now that's love. Every day he was there with his wife, telling her stories. Some days she remembered, most times she didn't. But they asked her, why do you keep doing this? Their children asked him, Dad, why don't you come on home? Come on home. Why your mom don't remember you? She doesn't know you anymore. He said, but I know her. I remember her. And he said, and my place is by her side, right? He said, because that's the love of my life. Always will be, right? And I think about that because I think about love as being that it doesn't have borders, it doesn't have boundaries. When they put together some vows, better or worse, right? And sometimes we go for the better, but when it gets worse, we bounce, right? Instead of saying, you know what, I chose to stay with you even when it's a bad place, right? So when I look at the movie Love Note, I see a couple that chose to be together despite obstacles, right? And the other day I was riding out to take my granddaughter to work, and the man that opened my eyes up to love 43 years ago, right? I'll just use an initial, maybe. Maybe I won't. But anyway, um, he he downloaded in my spirit. Like all of a sudden, I wasn't thinking about him, but all of a sudden he came to me, right? And I said, "Wow, man!" And when he came to me, tears came down my eyes because I always think about him as the perfect one. He was the perfect one. I said no such animal. He was perfect. He was perfect. I mean, perfect. Now, to somebody else, he got a whole lot of faults. Somebody else, whatever. But it's, eyes, they say love and the eyes to the soul. When you just say, that's it, right? Well, so many years ago, I was sitting out in the car. This is going to be a nice little story. I was sitting out in the car and I saw this man walking by with a big bag of dog food on his shoulders, right? And I said, "Woo, what a specimen!" I guess I was probably in my hot 20s, yeah, young 20s, I guess. I said, "Oh, he is fine, right?" And I blew my horn. And he turned around, he looked up, and I just kind of like, wait. They're not flirting. That's all. I wasn't, didn't mean no harm, just flirting. You saw some nice looking specimen, and you just had to say, hey, right? Guys do it to girls all the time, so stop playing. Anyway, um, and then I had my two children in the back seat, and I was waiting on my girlfriend in the store. And so I turned around, and I was talking to them, and I heard somebody tap on my window. So when I turned, it was him. I'm like, and he tapped on the window for me to, motion me to roll my window down. And I rolled the window down, and he said, hi. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm speechless, right? I am speechless because I'm like, I didn't mean no harm. I was just blowing, saying, hey, you know. But I spoke to him, and somehow I know we exchanged. I guess I told him where I stayed or something. Anyway, um, and we started, conversating, and it's all it was, the conversation, right? But he was, he was everything. Um, and I remember this because it was somewhere close to like Thanksgiving, maybe. So my little girl, probably about 6 months old. My oldest was two, and at that time, I had things on layaway for my children for Christmas, and I worked at night. I came home one morning. My babysitter said, he said, Miss Jenny, he says, um, it's cold in here. It got cold last night. I said, well, I wonder why. I checked the thermostat. The thermostat was fine. I said, I don't know why it's cold because I just brought fuel oil. Y'all too young to probably know what fuel oil is, right? But I just bought some fuel oil probably 2 weeks prior. So I'm like, why is it cold? So I went outside and I checked my tank, and it was empty. Somebody had siphoned all my oil out my tank, and I was kind of teed, right? And I said, dang, I just spent my money getting that. And so anyway, the only money I had was my children's layaway that he had for Christmas. So I had to go and take my children's layaway off to get the money to get somebody to come and bring me some more fuel. So apparently when I work at night, somebody was watching, and they saw that I just got my tank filled up, so they knew I worked at night. Somebody, they watching you, those people. And they took all my oil. So anyway, when he came by, I told him the story of what happened. I said, I can't believe the other day, somebody had stole all my oil. I had to get all my children's layaway out. And I'm just sharing because he's my friend, right? And when I say friend, I just mean friend. And he said, and that's what he called me, friend. He said, oh, friend. He said, well, that is, and I said, yeah, so I don't have anything for my children for Christmas because I had to get, my heat. Still, I'm just sharing with my friend. That's all, just sharing. I'm not dry hustling. I'm just sharing. And about, oh gosh, a few nights later, I knocked on my door, and I got to the door. There he was. I said, "Hey." He said, "Keep the door open for me." And I says, "Okay," you know. And he walks in with this Christmas tree, and I'm like, "What's that for?" He said, "Give me a minute." He went and put the Christmas tree in the corner of my home, and my mind is going. He must have listened to me tell him I ain't got no toys for my kids. And he went back out, and he got lights. He put it on the Christmas tree. Perfect. And then he went back out again, and he had his arms full of boxes already wrapped up, and they were gifts for my children. He said, all these boxes belong to your children, but one. One belongs to you. Everything else is, for your children. I said, oh, why would you do that? He says, he had a family. He said, how could I see my children open up things for Christmas and knowing that you didn't have anything for your children? I said, oh my gosh, and who does that, right? And he said, "You're my friend." I said, "Oh, ooh." you know. And anyway, I mean, it was like, oh gosh, maybe 15, 15, 20 boxes, all pretty wrapped. And he put it underneath the tree for my children. He says, "Your gift, you cannot open till Christmas Day." I said, "Okay, no problem." And I'm just, at all, right? Because no one has ever done anything like that for me. And not only has anyone done anything like that for me then, even to the day, you know, 40 some years later, I haven't met anyone who ever would meet that, right? Just talking to him. We could sit there and talk. And when we talk, his voice never was raised. And he never saw a speck on me. He just never saw a speck, meaning that I was perfect in his eyesight. And that's how he made me feel, right? I was just perfect, as perfect as he was, just perfect. Anyway, when I saw that, I thought, wow, this is so awesome, right? And and I knew personally that I was falling in love with this guy. I knew I was, but I would never tell him because I knew he was, he was already in a relationship, and we would not share anything that, would violate that. So, he would come over, we would sit back and listen to music and talk and laugh. And he would like, "My friend," that's all he would say, "My friend. Hey, my friend, you want to ride out today?" Sure. We would ride while he's going to work. I would riding with him, in the truck. And it was the most beautiful thing for me, right? It was just beautiful, right? And oh gosh, that went on for a minute. And then one day, um, something happened. Oh, I think I opened up the gift, right? And it was a beautiful gift. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was a beautiful peach, which was my favorite color, right? And I'm like, I don't know where he knows my favorite color. And he said, "Well, you were talking," because he listened to every word I spoke. He heard. I wasn't just. You know how you can have a conversation with somebody, and having that conversation, you could tell them the same thing 5, 6 times, and they still keep. You're like, "Don't you ever listen to me?" I told you that, right? I never had to do that. When I said something, he marked it. He noted everything I said. He knew my favorite color. He knew my favorite number. He knew all this because when we talked, he was taking notes, mental notes, because I meant so much to him that he didn't want to lose anything about me. He made sure everything I talked about, he locked it in because I was that important to him. Now that to me is love, right? To me. Now everybody else got their own thing. This is just me talking, right? No matter what I said, he heard me. And if I was talking about anything, he marked it. So when I was talking about, my children have, he didn't just listen to me talk about my children didn't have. He did something about it. He went out and made sure my children had. You know, if I said anything, and just openly talking about anything, just whatever, he heard me and he moved on it. He moved on it because he wanted me to know that he was listening to my every word. That to me is love. And that's my love story. My love story is someone who takes out time to listen to your every word because your words come from your heart, right? And then when they're talking to you, they're thinking about your heart, so they're careful how they talk to you because they're not trying to step all over your heart, right? I did a song one time. I got a heart like a truck. I've been drugged through the mud. My heart's been drugged through the mud, you know. You know, and that song meant a lot to me because sometimes I felt like my heart was drugged through the mud. But not by him. He marked me. He marked my life. And no matter what happens in my life, if I never ever find someone who could love me and give me the perfect life, And you say, girl, ain't nobody got no perfect life. The perfect life, I've had it. I've had it. And I can mark that. I can mark that. You know, they said it's better to have had, you know, to have had love, right, than to never have had love at all, right? Never, to be loved, to never have love at all. To me, I was loved. I was loved by somebody who didn't just tell me, because people can tell you they love you all the time, but what they show you is totally opposite. You can't say you love somebody and not care how they feel, and not make sure they're okay, and not be right there for them when they need you. I don't care if they're sick. I don't care if they broke down. I don't care if they're happy. They want to share something with you. You got love shows up. Love will be there. That's all. That's all. Now for me, you know, one of my ladies told me that love to her was a man, being able to keep her hair washed and do different. See, that's what she wanted. She checked me out. I love it. But that's her. So everybody has their own needs. Everybody has their own desire of what they want when they say they want love. Well, I'm telling you what I desire. What I desire is someone who is in tune with me, right? And when they're away from me, they still in tune with me. That they're thinking about how, when they get back with me, what we're going to do next, right? That is a love story to me. That's what makes me say. And then you know what? 43 years ago, that's all he did. That's all he did. I mean, I don't even think it lasted, whatever. But what he did left an impression. It left an imprint. And it left me a map. It was a map. It was something that I could look at and say, okay, this is what I want. This is what I desire. And so when you set a bar, right? Whatever your bar is, when you set a bar, don't let somebody tell you, see, that's your problem. You just, you setting your bar too high. It's my bar. I can set my bar any way I want to. It's my bar. I know what makes me happy. I know what gives me joy. I know how I want to feel. I know how I want to make someone else feel. How I want to make them laugh and say, leaving me will be hard. I want one of those kind of relationships that when they say it's time to go, that's something they don't want to share because they know leaving me will be hard. Vice versa. That's the love to me. That's the kind of love I talk about. And that's the kind of love I desire. Now that's for me. And so I'm telling you my love story. This is my love story. I know what I've had. I know what I could not ever probably sit back and talk about someone else and not always remember him, because he set the bar. He set the bar. The perfect gentleman. The perfect gentleman. you know, he, oh, good gracious. He wasn't, he was everything. He was just perfect for me. And so when the time came that, we had to relinquish our relationship because it was becoming difficult, some days I think about that and I wish I never did. That's me, right? Because afterwards, things happen. And I knew if things were different, it would not have happened, right? So I'd always think about that. And so when he popped in my spirit maybe about a week ago, when he, downloaded in my spirit, I knew that there was a reason for that too, right? And so as I choose to walk my life without someone in my life to give me those thrills and feels and do the things that I desire and what to have, it's okay. I tell people some things you can't miss. You just can't miss if you never had it. But some things you'll always love because you know what it feels like because you've been in it. Some people ain't never had the experience of knowing what it feels like to be loved. That's not me. I know what it feels like to be loved. I know what love feels like. And I know what I want to feel. Right? And that can't be, put to the side or, ignored. Not for me. Not for me. And so my love story, and I think I'm gonna include it in my fourth book. I'm included in my book. You know, my love story was a person who came in my life at a time that I was really young, but they left an imprint. And throughout my life, no matter who came in it, you know, they never, ever met close to what he did. You know, ever. You know, and I spent years with in a relationship, and they couldn't. You know, I know what love is. I know what I felt, and I wanted that. And anything less than that, you know, it was you know, I no, I don't have to take that. I don't have to receive that, and I didn't. You know, don't say, "Oh, girl, you got to no." Mm-mm. You know, when they mistreat you, when they abuse you, when they do things to you that they're not supposed to do, you know, then you know that's not what you want. That's not what you desire. And it's okay to walk away. It's okay to let go of something that's hurting you, something that is misusing you, something that does not value you. It's okay to walk away because you know that you ain't got to handle that. You know, because hey, you know what it's like to be held, and you know what it's like to be, mistreated. It's a difference. We all know that, right? So why would you stay in a relationship with someone that is mistreating you, abusing you, tearing you down, you know, not having any value for you? Why would you stay with them when you know what it's like to have total opposite, you know? And so I'd rather not have than to have someone to do me wrong because I can keep the memory of the one who did me right. Makes sense? Probably not, but it's okay. It's my love story. I thank you for your time, your patience. Happy Valentine's Day if you celebrate it. Happy Love Day to everybody. And I pray that wherever you are in life, if you're seeking love, desiring love, wanting love, know what you're looking for, know who you're looking for, and do not settle for anything less than that. And if you know what it is, honey, I don't care what anyone says. That's what it is. Somebody else's love story, somebody else's joy, somebody else's thrills don't have to be yours. Some woman says, or some man says, I want me a woman, I want me a man who got a lot of money. That's for them. You ain't got to be that person. I want somebody who can take me around the world. That's for them. You ain't got to be that person. I want somebody who can sex me up. That's for them. You ain't got to be that person. I want somebody who, whatever it is. You know, I want somebody who's famous. I want somebody who's got whatever. Some people want somebody for material reasons. Some want it for emotional reasons, sexual reasons, spiritual reasons, whatever it is. That's their call. But whatever it is you want, don't settle. Don't settle. You know, you can rest in love, honey. You ain't got to touch it all the time. You just rest in it because it's what it is. It's love. And love is real. You'll never, ever, ever be alone when you got love on your side. Thank you for your time, your patience, your love. You have a blessed day. Oh, let your light so ever shine. And you be awesome, be marvelous, and then you enjoy not just today, but every day, and fill it with nothing but love. Blessings to you.